790p makes great mountain bike gear, and they've got a pretty legit selection for kids as well. We've been hitting up a bunch of mountain bike parks this summer, and our son has had a chance to test out the M1 full face helmet, the transition knee and elbow pads, and the flex knee pads. The 790p M1 helmet is a smaller profile and is less bulky and hotter than most full face helmets. The interior padding is thinner than the padding on the Fly Racing Default, for example. This makes it both a little more comfortable and cooler. Our son's head was a lot less sweaty in this helmet than others. The breathability is also aided by 17 vent holes. Although some of the vents are covered by padding, this did seem to help with comfort even on hot summer days. Because the helmet is a little less bulky, it also weighs less. It weighs a mere 840 grams. Compare that to most full-face helmets that are in excess of 1,000 grams. The only problem with this slimmer profile is that the helmet is not ASTM certified. In our family, we use a full-face helmet for two things: downhill mountain biking and BMX racing. For that reason, we prefer a full-face helmet that meets the ASTM standards. Our son has been using this helmet while doing lift-served riding, but if he starts going much bigger, I will want him in an ASTM certified helmet. The M1 helmet does meet CE, SPSC, and AS standards. Several of their other models also meet the ASTM standards. For kids who are doing mellow downhill riding or playing around on the jump line at your local skills park, the 790p M1 helmet should offer plenty of protection. The M1 has a D-ring closure that is commonly found on full-face helmets. This will keep the helmet stable in a crash and will not break like a plastic buckle found on most other helmets. The visor is adjustable and moves up or down via a center screw. We did have one pretty major faceplant during testing and are happy to say that while the visor got scratched up, it did not break off, unlike our experience with the Giro Switchblade. If your child wants to wear a pair of goggles, the 790p M1 helmet has a nice wide eye opening and worked well with goggles. We found the helmet fit true to size. Our 8-year-old son has a 53 centimeter head circumference and wore the extra small adult size. The youth medium fits heads as small as 48 centimeters and would be a good choice for preschool age rippers. The 790p M1 helmet is an entry-level full-face helmet. This means it's actually affordable but lacks extras you might find in more expensive helmets. There are no goggle clips or GoPro mounts, for instance. Still, we've found most parents will gladly pass on those extras for a lightweight, affordable lid for the kids. I may have one of the pickiest kids ever, and mountain bike protection is no exception. If it doesn't feel just right, he won't wear it. Luckily, he was happy to wear the 790p transition pads, which says a lot. They fit well and stay in place, so he didn't spend time whining about them slipping down or having to adjust them. The sleeve itself feels kind of like a knee warmer. Both the top and bottom have a silicone gripper that does a good job of staying in place. Most importantly, in terms of fit, the transition pads come in quite a few sizes so you can get the right size without having to modify them. The actual padding on the front of the knee is fairly significant. Unlike pads with a hard shell, the 790p transition pads are soft and malleable. I did feel like they offered more protection than a pad like the G-Form pads, which I appreciated for downhill and more aggressive riding. They still don't offer as much protection as a more significant pad, but they are far more comfortable. And did I mention my kiddo is picky? These he'll wear. The other reason my kiddo doesn't like wearing pads is that they're hot. The transition pads do a good job of addressing this thanks to the mesh panel at the back. It provides good breathability at the back of the knee or the nook of the elbow, two areas that are important for keeping little bodies cool. Both the transition knee pads and the transition elbow pads come in kids and youth sizing. In fact, 790p does a better job of covering a wide range of ages than just about any other company out there. The size small pads fit tiny toddlers just starting on a balance bike and are now our #1 pick for small kids. The flex knee pads are a little bigger than the transition pads, so skip these for the preschoolers. They're designed for bigger, older, and more aggressive riders. The youth knee actually doubles as the adult elbow pad, and it was a little too big and bulky to fit my 8-year-old comfortably. We'll give it another year or so and these should fit well. The good news is that they fit my wife, and she really liked them. The 790p Flex knee pads are a more traditional knee pad design and are very similar to other pads she's worn. They were comfortable and provided good protection on days she wasn't going too big. The knee pad is hard and not as malleable or flexible as the transition pads. While it makes walking a little harder, these pads do provide extra protection for hard-charging kiddos. The primary fabric is thicker than the transition pads, but that adds an extra level of protection as well. The fabric at the rear of the pads is thinner and the entire back of the knee is left open to provide some much-needed breathability. Both the top and bottom of the sleeve have silicone grippers, and there's a Velcro top and bottom as well. My wife had no issue with these slipping down like she's had with other pads. The M1 helmet, transition pads, and flex knee pads are all durable mountain bike protection equipment that run a myriad of sizes. They will fit the smallest of riders through adults and look great doing it too. We may not be winning enduro races like Sam Hill does in them, but they will protect us just the same. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell.